Hola amigos, so for this video we're going to be practicing direct, indirect, and double object pronouns in Spanish. There are a total of, I think, 10, no I can't add, 12 sentences here, and the directions are there, they're in English, and what we have are using direct object pronouns in statements and also answering questions with them, and then indirect object pronouns the same thing, and double object pronouns the same thing. So what I'm going to do for this first section, I'm going to explain this to you. If you want to pause the video now, if you already understand it and start doing it, go for it. But if you want to pause this first part, just rewrite the sentences so that they have a direct object pronoun instead of a direct object noun. These questions have direct object nouns in the questions. Answer them, but change the noun to a pronoun in your answer. It's the same here for the indirect. The indirect object noun are these people here in parentheses, and it's the same in the questions down here. When you answer the questions, include the person in parentheses or possibly somebody else, depending on what the question's asking, as the indirect object pronoun in your answer. And then down here, it's kind of a combination of the previous two ideas where I have a statement that includes both the direct object noun and indirect object pronoun right there in parentheses. Rewrite it so they have both pronouns and in the question also. Now, just in case you're wondering, the reason that I put the indirect object nouns and pronouns, or just indirect object nouns, I guess, in Spanish, why I put them in parentheses, the reason is because technically you can't have a sentence in Spanish that looks just like this. Hiciste el pastel para Juan. You made the cake for Juan. In this sentence, when you have an indirect object noun, you also must have the indirect object pronoun in the sentence with it. So just for practicing purposes, I leave it out in the original sentence because if I put it in there, then you'll know what the answer is already. So I want you to think about it that sense. So pause the video if you want to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to start just typing my answers here on the screen for you, and hopefully they make sense. If anything doesn't make sense, just drop a comment in the comment section, and I will go over my answer, or I'll answer it if you leave a comment. Okay, so number one says, my friends eat the pasta in the class. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that my friends are eating? Well, they're eating the pasta. So I'm going to have mis amigos la comen en la clase. And then the second one, Jose drinks the juice at night. So what is he drinking? He's drinking the juice. So I'll have Jose lo bebe por la noche. He drinks it at night. All right. Do you have the cherries? So I'm going to say either yes or no. I have them. We'll just say yes. C, so them are the cherries. We los tengo. And then did you make lunch? Again, I'll say yes to my answer. It's easier. So C, I made it. It's going to be lo hice. All right, this one, rewrite the sentences. They have an indirect. So who or what is indirectly receiving the action of the making in the first sentence? Well, Juan is. So Juan will change to le. And my new sentence will be le hice el pastel. The second one, my parents are indirectly receiving the action of the giving. The sentence says, I gave the gifts to my parents, if you weren't sure. So it'll become les, and I have les di los regalos. Let's see. Answer the questions. Number one says, did you tell the truth? And then it says, to me in parentheses. So if I asked you that question, did you tell the truth to me? You would say, yes, I told you the truth. So you as an indirect object pronoun is going to be te. Te dije la verdad. And then this one's, did the students bring the homework to you? So I'm going to say, yes, they brought the homework. Now, depending on, well, if I'm asking you a question, you'd say, yes, they brought the homework to me. So I'll say, sí, me trajeron su tarea. The me because they brought it to me. Sorry, hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Let's see, rewrite the sentence, so both pronouns. Okay, number one, they give the videos to me. So me will change to me, the videos will change to los, done. Remember to put the indirect before the direct when you have both of them together. They create the art for us, so we'll have us, it, the art, and they create. And then the last one, we have, did you prepare the sandwich for me? So I'm going to say, yes, I prepared it for you. So for you, and we have the it for the sandwich, and prepare. And then the last one, did you send the invitations to the guests? So I'll say, yes, I sent them, the invitations to them, the guests. So the guests will be les, the invitations will be los. Now hopefully that throws up a red flag for you if you've been learning these pronouns. When you have two pronouns together that both start with an L, I'm going to change the first one to say. So I have say los, and then I sent will be Monday. So those are all the answers. hopefully they made sense to you. I'm going to do one more for you just in case, just two more if you want to stick around. Let's say we have two verbs in the sentence, so I'm going to redo these two right here so that they have two verbs in the sentences. So I have they give the videos to me. So I'm going to say, instead of saying they give the videos to me, I'm going to say they are going to give the videos to me. And the reason I want to do this is because when you have two verbs in a sentence, then you have two options with where you can put your pronouns. And then I'm going to change the second sentence to they are creating the art for us. So again, I have two verbs, so I have two options. So option one is you can always put it in front of the conjugated verb, which in this sentence is von. So we'll still have the same pronouns like in the initial regular answer. So the me, los, von, dar. So that's the easier option. The other option, though, which is more like English, they are going to give them to me. Notice in English we put the pronouns at the end of the sentence, so I can do that in Spanish when I have two verbs. Now the tricky part is, though, when I have this word dármelos like that, I have to add an accent mark right here over that dármelos, and that's because the stress on the word is 3 or more syllables back. And then let's see, let's go to this example. So they are creating the art for us. So much like the other answer, I'll have the nos and the lo, and I'll just keep my verbs like that. Están creando. This, by the way, if you haven't learned this, is called the present progressive. And you cannot put anything in between this verb and this verb. So this is my conjugated verb, and I put my pronouns in front. Or I can attach them to the creando. So I have están creando nos lo, which sounds really strange, but that's the answer. And again, this right here is going to have an accent mark over the A. So it's more difficult when you attach it because you have to worry about accent marks. Anyway, I hope these made sense to you and helped you out a little bit. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.